I am about to take a very quick spin on the new Suzuki GSX-S1000GT. So I'll try and throw as many quick impressions at you as I can. First impression is the handlebars are actually quite a bit higher and closer to me than I expected. On the internet, people have said, well, just bear in mind it's not an adventure bike and you are a little bit forward leaning. But yeah, it's not as forward leaning as I thought. You're only a few degrees forward, for me anyway, from a straight back position. So it wouldn't take much effort to kind of sit bolt upright. Second first impression, I'm in third gear. Where are we? 3,000 RPM. And it's very quick to pick up in that little rev range. I think the indicator is easy to get to compared to the naked S1000 because I think we've got slightly redesigned switchgear here to take into account the improved dash. And this dash looks initially so much better than the one on the naked model with its LCD display. Don't know why the naked model didn't get this dash. That would have made quite a big difference, I think, to its sailability on the shop floor. My feet, I've got 32-inch inside leg. My feet are absolutely flat on the ground. I think it's a 810mm seat height, 31 point blah blah inches. So yeah, I can get my feet down very easily. I reckon a 30-incher might just get their feet down flat, but it's quite low and quite a refreshing change to a lot of adventure bikes out there, adventure sports tourers. Looking at the front, but I like the gunmetal grey effect of the top yoke and the bracket for the handlebars. Black bars look quite moody. Can't see any scratches yet, and this bike, poor thing, has already done 3,000 miles in quite a short amount of time. And happily I can also report there is a USB port right there just to the left of the clocks. Now I might be wrong because this is only a very quick spin, but I tried to find the navigation option. I get the feeling you might have to do all the navigation setup in the app and then maybe send it to the bike. But I don't think I've got enough buttons here to kind of set up navigation on the bike itself. Now I might be wrong. Now I do know this bike is 226 kilos wet. I think that's the official wet weight, curb weight. Although it does feel a bit on the dense side, it's not overly heavy by any stretch. Front brake is span adjustable. The clutch is not span adjustable, bit of a shame. But although it's a cable clutch, it's actually decently light, I find. It has got the low speed assist, I think. Was it clutch assist? I can feel it trying to ensure I don't stall the bike when I let the clutch out. Quick shifter, there's a little bit of ignition cut that's quite noticeable, but it's not a big jerk, unlike myself. Just a little bit of a braking forward momentum when you're going up the box. Oh, I've just had one downshift and it went down very smoothly. Shall we put the rider mode in A? I think we shall. There we go. Doesn't keep cycling through on the button. If you go down to C, it won't go back to A. But I've pushed it up to A. Job done. Oh yeah, certainly very keen in the first 3,000 or 4,000 RPM to respond to the throttle. Yeah, certainly feels a tad bit more lively. Oh, it's a pretty neutral angle when you leant over, which is good. I didn't seem to have to fight it at all. So hopefully this camera's in the right place. So this is the bike key, so it's all one key. Lift this up, lift that up. Job done. Before I remove the helmet and potentially disconnect the microphone, I will tell you that my helmet says a Shoei GT Air, first generation, about size 59 to 60 I think, so large size. Let's see what happens. we have success. If indeed my microphone's still working. I suspect it is. Well, I hope it is. So the bike has been doing the rounds. It's not pristine, so I apologise for it looking slightly grubby. What can I throw at you in terms of specs? Well, this one's spitting out 152 horsepower at 11,000 RPM. I don't think I'll be sampling that today, unfortunately. And 78 foot-pounds, or 106 newton meters. Fully adjustable front forks, which is nice. Preload, rebound and compression. We've got those Brembo calipers. The rear shock is adjustable, not that we can see it, for preload and rebound only, no compression. And it's also a bit of a shame there's no remote preload adjuster. Fuel capacity is 19 litres, or just over 4 gallons UK. So that should be good for at least, I would say, 150 miles before you start panicking. The colour here that we're seeing is metallic Triton blue. Very nice. Big old 190/50 rear tyre there, ZR17 Dunlop Road Smart 2s. And a 120/70 17 on the front. This bike's got about 3,000 miles on it, and you can see here where the shadow suddenly starts at this point. So it's actually flattened off in the middle there. So yeah, hasn't got a lot of life left in it, I'm afraid, after about 3,000 miles on this machine. But I imagine a lot of those miles have been just bolt upright on these test rides going up and down various roads. But that's about the end of my quick run on the GSX-S1000GT. Shows a lot of promise. It's easy to ride, if that makes sense. Rider position is great. Like I said, I can get my feet on the ground. My leg angle is not too acute. So yeah, as a result of this little ride, cannot wait to spend a few more miles on it at some point in the future. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in another video. Ta-da! Right folks, a few weeks ago I was planning to have a ride like this and have a conversation with you about the possibility of me getting a third motorbike. Another bike to add into the shed. My intentions were to spend no more than £3,000 on a second-hand bike. But then I gave myself too much time to think. And then I went from a second-hand bike up to £3,000 to, well, that £3,000 could be a deposit towards a new bike. So I was already upselling myself without any salesman having to do any work at all. I've already got two motorbikes, they're both road legal. Yes, I would like a third bike that could do something that those two bikes cannot do. For instance, go off-road. Well, a bit more than this one's capable of anyway. Or have a bike with a fairing, a full fairing potentially, so I could do longer distances in comfort. However, I've since had a change of heart. What I've decided to do instead is, rather than put that money towards a new bike, put it towards motorbike experiences. So far this year, I've signed up to a Mick Extant's off-road experience. That will be in the middle of March. I've got the Prescott hill climb lined up later in the year, where I'm actually going up the hill climb itself. That is open to the public as long as you sign up. I'm taking this bike up. Have some fun there. And the biggie so far is that I've signed up to a Yamaha Track Skills track day at Donington Park. 2nd of June I think it is, which is a bank holiday everywhere else in the country because of the Queen's Jubilee. So I don't have to book any time off for that, which is quite nice. So this Yamaha Track Skills track day, I don't know if it'll just be Yamaha there or whether it's partially an open track day as well, not sure. But as I understand it, with a Yamaha track day you kind of get more attention than you would with a normal track day as a rider. And you got the option of taking one of 3 bikes around the track depending on how much you want to spend. You can take the R7, the twin, which would be quite nice. You can take the R6, which really is probably the bike I should be taking around the track. However, I'm going to be taking the R1. That is very exciting. I can't wait. Now you can get tuition. Unfortunately, tuition costs extra per session, but I think I'll pony up for that as well, because I want to get as much out of this class as I can. And actually before that, in April, I've also just booked up a no limits track day. I'll be using this bike, but I'll also be asking for tuition there. I want to go faster around Donington. Well, I want to go faster around any track really, but I like Donington a lot. And I want to increase my speed and reduce my times around that track. I do plan to book up some sort of a rapid rider or bike safe course. I can't quite remember all the brand names. I just got to try and find one that ideally doesn't interfere with work, so I don't have to take another day off. We'll see how that goes. So, quite exciting times this year. It's going to be a nice spring summer season, all being well. This is my first ride now with the properly fitted DB killer, you know, the one that got welded up by Frasers. Thank you, chaps. It is a bit noisy, not overly noisy, but I do like the sound it makes. The track day that I got in April, the no limits one, I booked up the noisy track day, which I think costs more than a quiet track day, but this would not pass a quiet track day noise test, I'm pretty sure. One thing I'm going to have to get tuition on, and I reckon there'll be tuition on every single session, is to learn how to hang off this bike. I still don't hang off. I'm no good at it. It's not natural. And I've got to get it natural. I want to be better at hanging off by the time it comes to the Yamaha Track Skills Day. So hopefully, by the end of the April No Limits Track Day, I'll be much more comfortable getting my arse off the seat and going around bends. And the other thing I've got to work on is, like a lot of people, I lose too much speed on the way into a bend. I just brake for either too long or brake too hard, or both. So I've got to get that sorted out. Brake! Twat. Ah, that sounds good. Oh, this bike, this is good. It's what I wanted. I can hear the exhaust. It's not overly loud. It's not obnoxious. At least I don't think so. I am biased though. But you can hear it when you're just accelerating down the road. And the bike feels like it's performing great. So it's all bloody good. Temperature's dropping now though, and it's time to go home. Well, thanks for hanging out with me on this little ride, and I'll see you in another one. Take care. Ta-da.